Hello, welcome to the listening show. A show you can listen to with me, Walter, and my best friend, Zach. Someone's at the door. Anyway, it's not important. I wanted to ask you, Zach, how you doing?
I'm okay.
All right. Now, what I was saying is I was going to go on straight by watching you. I got you when you were drinking, too. Sorry. Okay, well, I was going to go into that bit, but it's over now. Now, I do actually want to know how you're doing. I'm not going to interrupt you. It's not a joke.
Oh, no, you didn't interrupt me last time. I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah. I pushed it on time, but it took like at least a second for it to activate. The first press takes a long time, so press. Shut up! It's like a third of a second versus the first time. Anyway, should have warmed up the soundboard first. Shut up! All right, and then like, okay, here we go. Anyway, welcome to the listening show. We have no topic in mind, which is good news. Yes or no? Is there something on your mind? Wrong. It's a yes or no question. If you listen to the question.
No.
No. Okay.
Nothing worth saying.
That means we get to mess around.
Okay. Well, I guess one thing that was you asked me how I was, and I said okay. And the reason I said okay is because today was one of those days when the realization of that nothing matters has been really heavy today. But
how heavy?
Not cripplingly, but
okay.
But it is put me in a mood. Like, why do I have to do anything?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You can, and crippling was a good word because it can be crippling.
Yeah. It only happens like twice a year.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm at that point now where it's like twice a year.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever had it to where I was like, like the crippling word. But today, for some reason, I was just like, man, what am I doing, and why am I doing it?
I'll probably bring it down, but can you think of what reason specifically, what thought may have brought that about?
Oh no, it was no
reason, just a feeling. Was it like something you woke up with? Like for me, if I have a dream, I may not remember what it was, but I'll wake up with the feeling of the dream, and it can ruin my day. Is it? What did you wake up with it?
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I get it.
Do you hear that popping? Is that me?
It's probably me. It happens sometimes.
I'm just checking. Okay.
What was I gonna say? It wasn't important.
I know that happens to you. Okay.
Yeah, it happens to you. It happens to me sometimes. I don't care. I know it probably bugs you.
Testing it. Okay.
It used to happen when I would get up and sit down at the bar and studio. If you remember that.
Yeah.
Every time I'd get up and sit down. So, here's a small topic. I hate taking naps because when I do, it resets my day, which is annoying to me if I'm in the middle of a day. This would be a good reason to take a nap. If you're having a bad day, you woke up with a bad one, it might be worth trying to reset it.
Restart.
Yeah.
Factory reset.
I'm not trying to be facetious. Is that the right word? Like if I was in your position, I go, well, this might actually be a good opportunity to take a nap. How do you feel about naps?
Oh, I don't like them at all. Same reason.
Same reason?
Yeah, I hate them. Well, I actually feel sick after them. Like I wake up with a headache, and I've always like every time I've taken a nap, it's because I fall asleep spontaneously.
Right.
Which means I'm in an awkward position probably,
and you're really tired apparently to fall asleep without thinking about it, and you wake up. Oh, yeah, it's not. Not good. You get going like that.
Exactly.
I think girls like naps more than guys.
I think girls like sleep more than guys.
Probably, but as it is to naps, I think girls typically like naps more.
I've never met a girl who didn't like sleep that I'm aware of.
Let's limit it to naps. Sleep is a little more universal. Everybody needs it. Not everybody needs naps.
Mm-hmm. But have you ever met a girl who doesn't love sleep?
I don't think so. I know I've heard girls say like sleep is for the weak or something like that, but they haven't denounced it themselves. But back to naps. Would you agree, yes or no? You think on average girls like naps more than guys?
Yes.
So my question is, why do you think that is?
Because they like sleep.
You weren't listening. I was trying to tell you they like sleeping. That's why.
I just like circumvented that conversation to get to. I think they like sleep better.
They like sleep more. Okay.
I don't know. I know guys who like, I hate sleeping because I'm one of them for sure. I don't want to do it. I think it's a waste of time, but it's
on that note. I think guys have that childish behavior where like, oh, I'm not tired. I want to go to bed. And then they won't. Girls might act that way. They might go, I'm not even tired, but they will just fall asleep anyway. But guys have like more of that stubborn, no, I'm not. I'm gonna stay up and play games, and I can't. And then they won't. They just stay up. But I think girls might act like that, but then not follow through. They just they can't. What I'm saying is, guys are better at this than girls are.
That's kind of what it sounded like.
Yeah, that's what I realized it was sounding like.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know. I think it drives me nuts when I'm talking to someone and they're like, I just can't wait to go to sleep tonight. I'm like, why? What are you going to do? I don't know. I just like it. It's like you're not doing anything. You're just sleeping.
I get it. And I was that way a month ago. Sleep was literally a chore. It's something I have to do at a certain time. I have to get it done. I don't want to do it. Didn't enjoy it. But as I've been eating and better and exercising, I feel a sneeze coming on. I look forward to it a lot more.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Can't mute my mic.
That was like a really long oncoming sneeze.
Yeah. Well, I warned you.
That was a lot of preparation. No, I think. Well, I know that personally because I despise sleep so much that I recognize that that's probably going to be an imbalance if I ever get a committed relationship.
No, don't worry. You'll find a reason to get to bed.
You know what I mean? Like to
I know
sleep.
what you mean.
I think that I sincerely worry that there's going to just be a lot of tension in the marriage or whatever, because I'm just like, I do not want to go to sleep, blah, blah, blah. And then
you're going to go, you know what? I'm just going to sleep on the couch tonight. I'll go there and I won't sleep if I don't want to.
I already know.
And then her punishment will be like, you have to come sleep in bed. You're like, no, I want to go to the couch and just stay up.
Something. I don't know. I'm already preparing to be just mentally to be the one who's just laying there in bed awake while they're just passed out. And that's going to be a bummer, but whatever. It'll be less of a bummer than doing that by myself. But actually not that much less. It's kind of comparable. I actually don't know. Someone the other day I was talking about sleeping to someone. They're like, are you much of a sleeper? I said, no. And then they're like, well, you know that if you have TVs on, it doesn't help you sleep. And I'm like,
wrong.
No, the opposite for me is, and maybe that's because I'm like wired incorrectly. I'll recognize that's a possibility. Maybe I ruined me, but I cannot sleep unless there's noise and movement and lights.
Wiring is an interesting word, but I'm sure you're just wired that way. However, I'm certain if you worked on it, you could rewire it.
Yeah.
I know there was a time when I couldn't sleep without television as a kid. It was good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. If you can be at a point where you have to sleep to TV, it can be nice, especially when it's a warm glow of a big old CRT TV and game music. I know you did that as a kid. You listened to like game music. But now I can go out with almost silence and definitely with just complete darkness. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Yeah.
That was my question.
What?
What's the main reason you hate sleep?
I'd rather be awake. Because I can do stuff when I'm awake.
Right. It's boring. There's nothing to do. I get that. It's a waste of time. I could do stuff. That's my main reason too. I'm not saying I hate sleep, but that'd be the main reason I dislike it. Mm-hmm. We had this question a while ago. I think actually it was on the listening show that I'm thinking back to it. It was a question of, maybe it was a would you rather question. I think I asked it because I think I thought of it. There's something like, would you rather, let's say you're alive for 1,000 hours and you sleep for 300 of them, whatever general number. Would you rather live 700 hours without sleep? Your body works without sleep, but you don't get to live as long. Or would you rather have a normal life? And you were like, oh yeah, I'd rather just be awake. It's like the question, would you rather live to 100 like a normal person or live to 70, but you never have to sleep your whole life, but you only live for 70 years, not 100. You go, absolutely, you'd like to sleep or never sleep. You like just be the 70. Does that sound right?
It does.
It's a question I thought of, and it's a kind of a fun question. I think I've asked you before, and it probably was on the show.
Well, I think there's two different ways I think of that. And it's like, on one hand, I would miss out on all the old people stuff.
There's pros and cons. That's what's fun about it.
Which that technically could be a pro too. that's the con. I'm gonna call it a con because I consider even like that
Right, you're
stage
missing
of life to be valuable.
You're missing an experience by not living as long. One of them is you won't live that far in the future to see what happens if you wanted to or enjoy some benefits, or we don't know. It's a gamble.
Yeah, but I just feel like you could just like I came to that realization at some point and it made me hate sleep even more. It was this year at some point. I was sitting there awake and I was thinking about mortality or whatever, and I was thinking about I'm gonna die anytime from now till I'm 100, maybe if I'm lucky, sometime in that span. Then I thought about it and I was like, all right, well, if I'm being generous, maybe I'll make it to 80, 90, maybe. That's being real generous and I get lucky and I work hard, whatever. And then I thought about it, it's like, you know what sucks about that is I'll only really be alive for like, in my mind, like 60 years. Even if I make it all the way to 90, I didn't experience 90 years. I experienced 60 years and I was sleeping for a third of it, which is like, that feels like I feel cheated.
Yeah, I get you.
Like I actually thought about that in context of I'm 26 now. And I was like, I've only experienced like 17 years or something. And I was really ticked off. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's lame.
It is lame.
It made me mad. I was like, I don't feel like that counts.
I thought, I get that for sure. But I thought, like, how would I go against it? I guess I'd say, well, if you're going to have to sleep, you may as well, like that much, a third of your life, you may as well learn to enjoy sleep.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's one thought. It's kind of like I thought about before. I was like, man, the mattress business, that's a big business. You could advertise and sell to people who sleep. That's a third of what everybody does. It's huge. I'm surprised mattresses aren't as popular as like shoes. You know, shoes are a big between guys and girls. They like, I don't know. Mattresses aren't up there on the high of luxury things that people, or even normal things, people just, oh, this is important. Dude, that's like actually a worthwhile investment, I would think.
Yeah.
And yet none of us really think that too much, which is weird.
Yeah.
I can't think of a bigger daily thing that people could use that you could sell as a product besides like a toilet, but even then you use that less than you sleep. I don't know. I just thought about that one day. I was like, mattresses and sleep, that's like a big deal. Sleep is a big deal.
Yeah.
But yes, I totally get the idea that, well, I'm 28. That means I've only lived like 21 years. I don't think math is wrong. It is wrong. Anyway, that's what a waste. I wasted a third of my life.
That's what it feels like.
Which isn't technically true. One way to think about it maybe is I've had this thought bug me as a kid when I first heard the concept, like in sci-fi movies or books, cryo sleep. Like what? Frozen for 100 years? And now, like Captain America, he's frozen for 7 years. Now he's technically like 87 years old, whatever. And I'm like, no, he's really still like an 18-year-old, whatever it was. But technically, he is 87. It's that same kind of weird feeling. Like technically, you're
just went cryo sleep for like 8 hours every day.
Yeah, it's like what a waste.
Yeah,
it's weird how that works.
You know, I kind of get like I don't know. I shouldn't complain about things that don't matter because it doesn't matter to complain about a thing like, oh, I wish I didn't have to sleep, because you just have to and just shut up and get over it.
That's a good place to be though. You're complaining like, why do I have to sleep? Oh, you get to sleep. That's awesome, you lucky asshole. You know.
Yeah.
As long as we're aware of that, it's a dumb thing to complain about. Yeah. Let's have some fun with it.
Yeah, I've been having some trouble with that lately.
Having fun with it or sleeping?
Sleeping.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Well, can you excuse it? Do you think not to be...
Give an excuse as to why? Well, I think so, but...
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I got a new bed, and that really helped for a couple days. And it's still super comfortable, but I don't know. There's external influencers and that I'm awake a lot for. And I think it's chemical induced. I'm trying to change some lifestyle things, make better choices, and the lack of, just like, it's hard to sleep. I don't know.
I know what you mean.
I don't know. I think that's the way I'm going to describe it.
Well, it definitely was more difficult sleeping a month ago, but I don't think I've ever had sleep as difficult as you have it. And I don't know that it's necessarily because unfairly afflicted, I think your lifestyle is different. For example, you will more often than I ever would, I think, play games late until the middle of the night and then choose to get up early for work. Like I wouldn't choose to do that as often as you would.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's not that you're a victim of chemicals so much in my mind, not to say that you aren't. You probably have some crap going on that could be remedied to make you sleep better. But I don't know if that has something to do with it.
Certainly my discipline is a factor and my lack of it.
But I miss those days. I kind of envy you. I kind of miss, I'm not saying like I couldn't do it. I could, I just choose not to.
Mm-hmm.
But remember the good old days when you're a kid and you can forego sleep for some reason and you're fine, or not fine, but you can get on with your day. I guess you had less responsibility, so there was less consequence for you not getting to sleep, like staying up late playing games. Next day is Saturday. You could do if you wanted to. That just sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. It is.
But as an adult, you can do that all the time. But then eventually I think that takes its toll, not to mention the addition of responsibilities and then your increased mortality as being an older person. It's not as easy as it used to be. It's too bad. But I get the appeal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like falling asleep to have the TV on with video games in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
I do all that stuff still.
Yeah.
All that staying up to ungodly in the morning and getting up early because I can. But maybe I can't. Maybe I need to reevaluate that now.
I don't know.
Starting to ruin my nights.
Well, I'm sorry your nights are ruined, but I wouldn't tell you to change them. And most importantly, that sounds like fun. I get why you do it.
It is fun.
Yeah.
That's why I do it.
No. What's the longest you've been awake?
Almost 2 days.
Almost 2 days.
Yeah.
I thought you told me it was longer. I know you've told me before.
Oh,
for some
well,
reason.
I think I've made it to 50 hours. So a little, I guess that's technically over 2 days.
Yeah, I know I made it to at least 48. It was soon after. I think it was like 47 or 49, 40.
I was
50,
not doing good.
Whatever. Yeah. That was a bad experience.
Yeah, it's not fun.
How many times have you been up for 2 days straight?
Once.
Just that once?
I've been up all night many times, but even now, if I stayed up all night now, I've gotten close. But even just like napping for an hour or two in the night, I've done that kind of a lot lately, and that's fine. I can manage. But if I stayed up all night, I'd be wrecked. And that's something about not closing my eyes at all is like,
yeah, and it's more than that. Just staying up all night, and then staying up the next night effectively, because just staying up all night and then having the next night, that's 36, not 48. Anyway, even 36 is tough. 48 is like, it's bizarre.
It was ungodly.
So, you know that story you told me, it's like a creepypasta about an experiment. Well, it was probably real, whatever, about whoever, scientists keeping POWs awake to see what would happen. It was funny because when I read that or heard about it, I thought back to when I was awake for 48. I was like, yeah, I could see that happening. Going absolutely insane and destructive or whatever. I could see that happening.
It's based on a real thing that happened, and most of the creepypasta is real. Well, that's the scary part about it, is they added like some weird spiritual thing in the end, but it's like, no, they literally cannibalized each other and threw poop and ate it and killed a couple people.
Good times.
Yeah. Oh, but good days when Russia could just take people and from prison and then just pump adrenaline and drugs into them to keep them awake, and then just let them eat each other, poop everywhere. The good days of science.
Back when we did real science.
None of this snowflakey.
None of this beaker safe shit.
White coats.
Yeah.
Real scientists.
Goggles.
Yeah, real scientists use restraints.
Real scientists throw poop.
Real scientists use restraints. That's terrible. Oh, no. The good days of science. I wonder what that was one of my favorite theoretical questions someone asked online. There was a whole Reddit thread that basically said, if you were completely free of moral or social consequences, what question for scientists, if you were free, if you didn't have any consequences and you weren't hurting anybody technically, what experiments would you do?
Interesting question.
It was so interesting. That whole thread was great. It was like, wow. And those would all be such useful things to know.
Pick one.
I don't even remember. One of them was like a guy who wasn't a scientist, but
Right.
he it was like some funny thing about like Pavlov's responsing people into like going to, I don't remember what it was. It was feeding some sort of creature a certain thing every time someone sneezed or something, and so people would be incentivized to sneeze. I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but it was something like that, and I was like, that'd be silly.
For some reason, I thought they only asked scientists, but you don't have to answer as a scientist.
Yeah, it's a Reddit thread, so anybody, it's free. Anybody can.
It's a fun question. I'd have to think about it, but that's a question to ask of yourself. I don't know. I need time to think, so I can't play that game right now.
I think I would. The first thing I thought of with that, like the moral like the things that'd be evil to experiment to do. But if you could, and it wouldn't actually, like, it wouldn't hurt any real people. You had soulless people that you could experiment on or whatever. The first thing I would do is just a ton of like nature versus nurture research. I'd get like twins, and then raise one way and another one a different way, and just see. Or like, things like that. That's the first thing I thought of, but it'd be evil to do that.
Yeah.
But again, this is free of consequences. I don't get in trouble for doing this to twins. And what's sad is like a lot of parents have done that in different ways, and it's really kind of screwed up their lives. And they're like real people that exist right now. And so I don't like even saying that, but I do. I'm just a conundrum today. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Are you tired because of a lack of sleep?
I don't know. I don't feel tired per se.
Okay.
I might be slurring.
Your energy level is much closer to my normal energy level.
Oh no, not that.
You're saying it's not that low.
I'm saying not that. Not Walter's energy level.
Oh, anything but that. That's what. Yes.
Yeah, I'm making a joke.
Okay. Oh no.
Yours is closer to mine usually.
What do you mean?
You seem chipper.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe just because I'm wearing rose tinted glasses today. I feel like I really feel off today. That's kind of maybe what I'm perceiving when I see you.
Oh.
I don't know.
I think I'm okay. I'm like what are you today? Because I'm stuck between 5 and 6, which is usually where I'm at. I think I'm 6.
That's pretty good.
Nothing's wrong. Nothing wrong has happened today. And I think about it. So that puts me to I was thinking 5.5, but you can't answer that way. And I thought nothing's wrong. So I guess 6.
Yeah. I would go as low as you could go with actually still being in a decent mood. I'd probably say like 3.
Really?
But I'm in a great mood. I just very off.
Because in my mind, you can't be great in less than 5. That's not possible. 5 is like fine.
I mean, like I feel like happy. I'm just very off, and I don't like the offness.
I get what you mean by offness. It's hard to quantify. It's what comes with, for example, having some dream that just messes up your world, and you wake up and you have that wrong feeling, like just like ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I had a dream. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's not irregular to have dreams I don't want to talk about. It's more irregular to have my day be so wonky, but I'm not going to say it's never happened because it probably happens about twice a year or so.
At least you remember your dream. Because I'll know that I've had a dream, but I can't remember. In fact, I can't remember any dreams this past month. I certainly have dreamed. I just can't remember anything, which is weird.
I don't remember mine from this morning. I know I had it, and I know what it was about because they're always about the same things or whatever. But I don't remember what happened per se. I know one of the things I saw that was like weird, especially because I've been sort of it does feel like today is when like it's like if you're a really aware person like myself or like you or somebody, you pretty in tune with how you are and why. And it's because you just diagnose yourself really quickly. Is this like am I just being emotional? Am I bummed out because of the occurrences? Whatever. You just diagnose
you can self-evaluate fairly.
Yeah. And today it's like the scanner's broken and I don't know how I'm
Yeah,
doing.
I get that for sure.
So I'm like, it's
Literally is something's off. Like the machine, it's rattling. There's something wrong with the machine today.
like, and it's
know.
not that I'm emotional. Maybe that's what it is. But like, I was watching TikToks today.
I started crying. Oh
yeah, no, you made a joke and that was what happened. It was weird.
But were they funny and then you cried?
It was no,
Or
it was
sad and you cried.
It wasn't sad. It was cute. It was like a dad and he was hanging out with his little girl.
That's okay. But that is fairly emotional then to react so strongly.
Yeah,
but it's
I was like,
it's not inappropriate. It's just a stronger response.
Yeah. And I don't think I'd ever do that. It was something about, I don't know. I don't even remember what it was. It was so insignificant to me that I didn't. But it was like I put myself in that guy's shoes. I was like, oh, I would love that. And then I was like, whoa, I'm tearing up. I'm moving on. And then I was fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
I get it. I've had that.
Have you?
Yeah. Like I've had a moment of like, I don't know how to put it in a way that doesn't sound quite as pathetic, but certainly understandable. I think you said it fairly well, where you see something so simple you take for granted, and then for some reason in that moment you fully appreciate it, and it's super strong.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah. So that was a good example, like a dad and his kid. I can't think.
It's like my psyche is looking for something to latch onto today because my observational lens is broken today and it can't quite get a grip on it. And so it's like, what do I think? How am I supposed to think? And then you find something.
Yeah. How am I supposed to look at this? Well, I can't look at it. So I'll put myself in his perspective. Right. Kind of.
It's weird. It's like it's like for a split moment, my feelers were like, I'm going to feel what this guy feels. And it was like that.
It's interesting because I know what you're talking about. What's interesting is between us trying to say it out loud in a way that makes sense. Yeah. It's different than, I don't know what you're talking about. Try to explain. No, I know what you mean. It's just like to the third person. It's like, but this is what we're talking about. I'm sure some people listening get it. Certainly not all. I'm just trying to explain it between us as best as we can for the people who don't get it.
Yeah.
Who can't read our minds.
I'm glad. I was wondering how you'd explain it because I know you know what I'm talking about, but I think I did as good of a job as I'm able to. The other thing I was thinking about a lot today is like this very, very consistent feeling of stuckness. And I haven't felt that in a very long time.
Just today?
Yeah. Well, like I just remember like as soon as I got out of college and stuff, there was a period of maybe 2 years when I was first getting into the workforce and stuff where I felt just so trapped. And I felt like I was just the adult with the 8 to 5 job now. And I didn't ever want to do that kind of thing. And I sort of grew into it, real appreciating it. And like, I figured out a way to have just a very happy attitude and grateful and knowing that I have my limbs, I have my mental health, I have my family, everyone's alive. It's like, can't get much better than that. And everyone, like, I just super grateful attitude.
Right.
And then for the first time in probably like 5 years, that feeling came back where it was like, I'm stuck doing the 8 to 5. And that was hard today, but I don't know. I think maybe that's something else. I couldn't describe it. I had this sudden urge today to just like sell my stuff and just sell my place and just go move to France.
France is oddly specific. I want to ask why, but I once again completely understand. And at the risk of being redundant and reiterating what you said for no one's benefit other than my own, although I think it'll benefit you a little bit and certainly the listeners. For example, you said you really more or less appreciated your first job or jobs in the first year or two that you were working. You felt like I'm doing something, and you didn't take things for granted because you kind of at some point realized what you had. My bills are paid. I have my family. I'm healthy. I can really go up.
The opposite, but yeah.
Okay, well,
it was like the first few up sucked. Everything was bad because I was figured out, and then I learned how I'm really proud that I was able to get to the point where I was grateful.
There definitely was a sucky point, but I did get to the point where at some point where I was like, this is, I mean, I can't really complain. What's the other thing you talked about? You have to remind me. It was
moving to France.
Thank you. Yeah, moving. So you said today you had the urge to sell your stuff? Or
that's the last couple days.
I've had that urge, not France. I've had the urge several times. Urge isn't the word I'd use. Fantasy. The fantasy of just selling all my stuff and then getting a trailer and then just living like in a trailer. I can just go wherever I want, whenever I want, and I have like this little, and that's all I need. And I still think that'd be cool. I know I've mentioned something like that to you before. Logistically, it'd be very bad, or monetarily, it would not be very smart considering. But the idea, I love the idea. And I don't know about you. If I found out tomorrow, like, guess what? Your life's changing. This is what's going to be like. I'd be like, all right, I can do it. I can do it. So I don't know your circumstances though. What is the main reason that you're not just going to sell your stuff and move to France?
It's probably boils down to being afraid.
Afraid of what? Baguettes?
Risk. No, just risk.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like really secure right now.
I'm poking hard, but
yeah,
what risk? And there's a lot of risk, but pick like the big one. I mean, just try to.
Well, right now, my situation is that where I live, it's extremely hard to live there, and it's extremely affordable. And where I live, because it's extremely affordable, it supports the lifestyle that if I had to live here, I would want.
What do you mean it's hard to live there?
It's extremely hard to get in there.
Okay, that's different. It's easy to once you're there. Okay.
Yeah. So if I sell it, I risk never being able to get back in there, which hey, whatever. There's other places to live, but none of them are as affordable and spacious and quality for the money. Like it's so.
Is that the biggest risk? Is what you might lose?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, but again, also like let's say I was actually talking to someone last night, and I was talking to them about this idea, and basically what they were saying is, I said the same thing. I have a fantasy about moving to France, just packing up, moving there. And I said, logistically, what would that look like? Because I've been thinking about that. And what that would look like is I recognize I can't just do that right now, but I should plan for in the next few years being able to do that, which would mean save up money, do what I got to do that wise, pay off my car. I have a couple years to do that. Once the car is paid off, spend 1 year just using the money I'd spend on a car, saving up. And then begin looking for jobs in another country, whether it's Scotland, France, Australia. I want, somewhere else, I know I speak the language in Australia, but the fantasy is that I don't know the language. That's the fantasy.
So it's not France specifically? I don't want
No, just wherever. I don't know where. I like the idea of France because of like the history and whatever. And I like the idea of like Rome and, Italy, somewhere in Italy too.
So you like the idea of
I like the idea of cookie cutter, cutting myself out of this culture, putting me into another culture and seeing how I bake into the mix.
I was trying to decide if I wanted to say the word culture, but I was getting to saying I think you want a completely different culture. Language,
just for a little bit.
Language is just part of it.
Yeah.
For me, that's cool. That's logistically a lot more difficult than living in a trailer in the U.S. That's a lot more difficult.
That's part of the draw as well.
Part of the
draw as well.
Draw as in does the appeal?
That's part of the appeal, yes.
Right, okay.
Draw, yeah.
In my fantasy, I'd like to go somewhere where natively they speak a different language, but they can't speak English. So it's much easier to learn.
I picked a romantic place like that because of that. I'd be like, I can kind of get it. Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know what language, doesn't matter. But I kind of want to get away, but not like get lost. And I think if I went into a different culture, I'd get lost. I'm not saying I would dislike it, but that's probably not what I'd choose. I'd choose going around the country or maybe another English-speaking country where it's different enough, but I don't know. Anyway, that's cool. I was thinking, what happens if you did just move one day? I wouldn't be upset. I'd be a little bummed to lose my friend and like potentially the listening show, but he's doing what he wants, so that's cool. Plus, I have a similar desire, so I can understand it. It's not like someone who goes, why would you want to leave Kansas? Well, it's the best place to be. There's so much going on. Anyway, no, I get it.
I think the goal is not to move there forever. The goal is to go spend a year somewhere else.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. 50% of this fantasy involves this, and this is ridiculous. But this is just
I can't wait.
This is a romantic thing about me. I freaking love the idea.
Stealing a woman from another country?
But I can't talk to her. because I don't know her language. Yes. So it's literally, it's like you go, this is the fantasy. I moved to France. Oh, I don't know the language. I don't know anybody. I'm lost. Like you said. And then you're like, well, I guess I need food. And then you go to a cafe and there she is. And she's got her glasses and she's reading some book in French. And you walk up to her and you're like, hi, I don't know any language, but you can. She's his own parole to
she's all like,
oh, it's he's just some dumb American. And then I win her heart without words. I got to find a way to do that.
You show her your wallet.
No, she can't.
No, you go baguette, and she thinks it's the cutest thing how you say it. And she swoons. And she follows you home. No, that's funny how your specific your fantasy is, but specifically I was saying baguette. Anyway, specifically my thought for your fantasy guess was stealing a woman and bringing her here. Is that yes or no? Is that correct? I know it's not elaborate enough.
No. It's not about that.
Not about that. Okay, so it has nothing to do with it.
It's not about bringing her. Like maybe it's not. I don't know, man.
Okay, I was wrong. I was wrong. Then.
I've given up on American women for now. So let's see what's out there. No, that's not it either. I don't know. I've not given up on anybody. It's just. To me, that's as cool as it can get because it's special. Like, yeah. Imagine like,
exotic.
Okay, what's fun about dating? It's about getting to know someone and about getting their energy and it's transmitting energies, right? So you can imagine how freaking interesting it would be to have a relationship where you actually don't know what each other's saying. You have to read their body language in their face for a while. And then part of the fun of it is learning the language and, starting to understand what they're saying. I don't know. I think it'd be great. It'd be fun.
I know what you're talking about or what you're thinking without necessarily what you're saying. Again, it's us trying to put it into words. Let me try to put it into words because I definitely understand the appeal. It's more exciting as in it's more new and foreign than, something more familiar like anybody living in America and all the basic bitches, no offense. But yeah, someone far more different and unique and rare might be the right word because it'd be more rare to you to come across someone like that. I'm trying to put into words.
Yeah, especially like if you keep choosing to be like, for instance, I would be completely willing to do that, but I don't know many women, especially with me, because on the surface level, I'm just this guy and I look like this and whatever, and I'm from this place. But like if I found someone and it was just like, hey, something about you makes me just want to be around you, even though I don't understand what you're saying. I think that's a good metric.
It's a fun fantasy.
Yeah, isn't it? Because then, eventually when you start like learning the language or whatever, and then you can get to know them.
Because then someone can actually like you for you.
Yeah,
it's a fun idea.
Exactly.
And that's a rare foreign concept here in America.
It is. And I've read books about that, like that kind of thing. And I know it's possible because it's happened lots. And those are my favorite ones. I'm like, man, that sounds great. But honestly, that's not. I say it's 50% of the reason because it's just as much reason just to go be somewhere. It's not because I want to go find the cafe girl,
right?
Who's with baguette or whatever. I love that idea so much. You walk up to her, baguette. That's so bad.
You're like, hey, can I get something? She goes, "Un peu de tout français." Like, baguette,
French fry.
Like, I can't France fry. I can't speak
French fry. Yeah,
you say it with like a sad desperation. French fry. Here, point at your mouth.
Yeah. Anyway, I think you understand the there's something about it. It's appealing and it's romantic, and I am a romantic at heart.
Speaking of appealing to romantic fantasies, I'll put this question specifically. Yeah, this sounds too materialistic, and it really is. So I'm trying to make it a little bit less.
I totally was expecting you to make a joke. Like, for example, speaking of romantic things, do you like butt stuff? That's what I was expecting. Sorry. That's naughty.
Yeah, I know we've talked about or asked this before. What language? Like, if you could pick, and this is a build a girl in a computer question, which I don't like the way
we talked about this because I said Russian. You were like Russian. That's a great answer.
Right. We did talk about this.
Yeah.
you remember what I said? Because I don't remember what I said, but I know what I'm thinking. Like, and the question, I guess, in this case is, what is their native language?
I don't remember what you said.
I want to say Irish, and I don't know if that's what I said before.
That it is, I think, or Scottish, I think maybe.
Yeah, Irish. Not that I care. I'm American and ignorant. They both are the same to me. French baguette, Scottish and Irish potatoes. Like it's the same.
Scottish and Irish potatoes.
And then the
Shout out to our
French
Scottish and Irish listeners and French listeners. If any of you are women who are in a cafeteria right now, let me know.
The French take the potatoes and they slice them up and fry them, but they're all potatoes. Is the point? Every in Kansas or America, sorry, we grow potatoes. So basically, every country, their produce is potato. That's the moral of the story.
Good. Okay.
So when I say potato people, I mean anybody. We're all potato people.
You know, everyone is just meat sacks and potato people.
Meat potatoes, potato sack. Something.
There's a joke.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
People are like, we're all just meat on bones. That's what people are, or whatever.
That should be a T-shirt.
That's what people are.
It'd be
or whatever.
like odd and disturbing, and like it's written like an motivational quote. Like, wait, what?
People are just meat and bones, or whatever.
That's what we are.
People are just meat and bones. That's what we are, or whatever. Dude, that'd be a great listening show merch item.
It's so bizarre if you saw that on the street. Like, what does that shirt say?
Yeah, people are just meat and bones.
That's what people are.
Or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. The listening show.
The listening show. Stupid.
It'd be great to have merch. And like good merch.
Something when we have merch, one thing I'd like is to have some kind of mugs or cups. Or what would you call those? Thermoses? Some kind of cup. Like I'm imagining a listener. What are they gonna do? wear clothes probably while they're listening. Maybe sometimes they use it for bedroom fun. I don't know what they're using it for, but they'll be wearing clothes and probably have a beverage.
Yeah.
So like have that.
Uh-huh.
And something else dumb and cute. I don't know.
There's a lot of great merch ideas that I've been surprised that people haven't jumped on them, or at least not widely.
Yeah.
And I can't think of some now, but I'm thinking mostly like kind of useless things that people don't use anymore. So it'd be an event like ties, like a listening show necktie. I don't know. Or like,
shoot,
like golf hats.
Golf
listening
hat.
show
That's
golf
funny.
hat.
Or was it called a bank hat? Teller hat when it's just the brow and that's it. And plastic size.
Oh yeah. Listening show like visor hat or whatever. Yeah. I think those are called visor hats, or also golf hats. I know what you're talking about. They have like the hair sticking out the top.
Yeah.
You should wear that. You have like really sticky up hair. That'd be great on you.
I have a big forehead. I could just fit it on the front.
And then your hair would go way above it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's great listening show pocket watches. So you can check the time.
I love it. So you can listen to the time.
So you can check the time. That's funny because there's no utility. Anything, yeah.
But also pocket watches, like something that's it's not useless necessarily, but no one uses them.
Yeah.
It's great. It's like the listening show curtains. Like, why would you need those?
Shower curtains.
Shower curtains. Listening show.
The listening show kitchen table.
The way you said it too. I want that like as a sound at the listening show kitchen table.
I can do it.
I'm imagining just a regular table with like an ear logo on top, and it's just obnoxious.
And it says the listening show in print.
Or no, I should say the listening show, the kitchen table, or something redundant on it.
Spaceballs the movie. Spaceballs the doll. Spaceballs the what are other Spaceballs the things?
I don't know.
Oh man,
it's fun. Listening show kitchen table.
Nice listening show kitchen table. Wow. Pretty cool, man.
You cut to the Dumb and Dumber character. Wow, cool. Yeah. Anyway, we're not at the merch level. I mean, if we had merch right now, however big or small the catalog is, we might have a couple people who would actually want and would buy something.
I bet so. I know at least.
And to be touching,
I would.
It'd be touching.
Yeah, it would. We'd know those people. Probably.
It's probably us.
Wow, we just want to thank Walter and Zachary for buying our mugs. Walter and Zach.
I mean, that's stupid. It probably has been done, but they're called mugs. And so the mug is just like a blown up, warped picture of your face all around the mug.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a mug. You got the Walter mug and the Zach mug.
Yeah.
That's probably been
the
done.
Walter one would be more popular.
Why?
Because you're more popular.
Oh, no. The people who watch the show.
Yeah.
People who watch the show. That's dumb. It could be a good idea. Whatever. It's dumb. I like dumb things like that.
I do too.
I like jokes. I'll buy a joke.
Yeah, I told you. Well, we've talked about how I have a fantasy of blowing up a picture of my face extremely large and covering it on a huge surface.
Whoops, sorry. Oh, actually, it was kind of relevant to push that.
Yeah.
So, for example, this wall behind us, if you can imagine, you can see the sides of it. Imagine the entire borders are Zach's face, and it's only in the dimensions of the facial features, so the eyes, nose, and mouth. But there's no edges. You don't see the ends of his face, and it's just blown up. All like an eye is here. It's like obnoxious.
Nostrils are like
the nostrils
huge.
are like I can't reach, but like bigger than my hand. Obviously, just it's obnoxious, and I love the idea.
Yeah,
In your own home.
Yeah, it'll be my shrine to me.
I wonder how expensive that would be. Probably fairly expensive.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I get jokes. I like jokes in the forms of like physical things. Like that would be a joke. I have like my small pee-pee plate literally is that. It's a joke. That's a material joke.
Another great idea was like for the listening show, get a freaking one day when we have like another studio, blow up our faces, both of them huge, and divide the wall in half and see mine here like making a face and yours on the other side making another face or something.
Freaking obnoxious.
It would be great. And because what would be good about it is that when it's on the close cam or whatever of us, you can't differentiate the wall colors from anything else.
But like a big old wall of skin, though.
Yeah,
that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, but we're
But
kind
it's
of
a joke, so it's okay.
Yeah, and then you pan out to wide shot, and then you see, oh, it's just them. Like,
It's just them. You know, that might actually be a good idea as far as like if we put ourselves in the wall, what we do is we get a picture of us literally pushing our faces against each other.
Oh, yeah.
And then we use that flap of skin as the center part of the wall. But then our faces combined take up the whole wall. And it looks like it's just down the middle.
oh yeah,
Anyway, what I was going to say is I wonder literally how expensive it would be to print and mount a picture that big. I'm guessing $1,000. It shouldn't be $1,000. At least $500, I would guess, to cover
Pretty
the wall of
big.
your face.
I bet you could get a print, like a crappy print, for cheaper than that. But
I don't know.
it's pretty wide.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
You should hand paint it. That'd be easier and cheaper.
yeah, and it would defeat the purpose though, because it wouldn't be an actual picture of you, which is the part of the joke.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be like a painting of yourself, which is like not vain enough. It has to be an actual blown up picture. But anyway, yeah, it would be easier to paint. It would look like a stupid colored stick figure. That's supposed to be Zach. We can't paint.
It's me.
The
You
black
can
dot. That black dot is his eye. The other one is supposed to be like his ear hole. Never mind. But that's Zach.
You want to hear good news?
Okay. Want to have that button? No, I don't.
My mom said that my dad can eat red meat again.
Cool.
Isn't that crazy?
You should tell that story for all the listeners.
The long and short of it is, if you've ever heard of the Lone Star tick,
Lone Star. Mm-hmm. Okay.
it has some sort of when it bites you, it like transfers something or other, and I think it has something to do with the molecules. Or I don't know. There's some
Molecules.
yeah. There's some.
That should be a good button.
It's like the proteins start attacking your blood or something, and it starts making. The gist is that you become allergic to red meat, and it's like, I guess, decently common. It's more uncommon than it is common. If you get bit by the tick, you're probably not going to get this allergy. But anyway, normally when you do, I guess that you have it for all time and you just never can eat red meat again. And
Which is
my dad got
really
bit.
sad. How long ago did that happen?
I don't know.
Like 5?
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know. Maybe less. But it was such a travesty to us. It scarred both of us, I think, because we were like, imagine losing red meat. We couldn't live.
It's like telling a man he can't fish anymore. It's like just a slap against being a man. That's so sad.
I mean, obviously he had a good attitude about it, and he was just like, oh, man. He just was sad and he got over it or whatever.
Yeah.
But he apparently he ate some meat a while back and didn't have many reactions because he was by accident, and they were like, we should go test the allergies again. They tested it and they were like, hey, if this keeps up, you might be able to eat meat again. And then he tested again recently, and they were like, oh, you can eat red meat again.
But like 100% or like,
I don't know. I haven't asked that yet, but mom said he can eat red meat again. And I said, woohoo, steak. Because he used to grill steak and they were great. And I said, can we eat steak this weekend? And I think that maybe we will to celebrate.
I'm so happy.
I am too. I was like, man, that's so great.
Imagine that. And then like, that's something you take for granted.
Yeah.
To be able to eat a certain kind of food, especially one that most of us can have. Try doing that with something else. Try imagining you can't use one of your fingers.
Yeah, it'd be sad.
It's mildly inconvenient. You would get used to it eventually, but like you just don't have one. You don't need it. You can work without it. Obviously, you're
and
fine.
then when you try to play the piano, you're reminded of how you
every
can't
once in a
use
while
it.
you get reminded. Then one day, 5 years later, hey, we found it. Got your nose was here the whole time. No, yeah. They're like, wow, I should try. Now you suddenly like really appreciate it. But anyway, I'm really happy for him.
I am too.
It's good news. That is actually good news. I thought you were gonna go, you want to hear some good news? And then you're gonna fart. That's what
I did fart first, and then I just farted quietly. I said, you want to hear good news? And I squeezed, and then I farted, and then I told you the good news. But it was quiet, so I didn't put it to the mic.
The real good news just was louder than the other good news.
Yeah.
When you farted on mic, that was in the listening show, right? You recorded. I don't think the camera was on you though, but I remember what it sounded like and what it looked like.
You know what I can do? I put it on TikTok, and before we started this episode, I figured out how to record sounds onto my button board. I can totally pull that clip up.
Yeah. Put it on the button.
Press play when the fart's about to happen. Put it as a button.
Yeah.
Should I do that?
Why not? You're not using those buttons for anything else.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do it while I'm recording.
No. You need me to send you a transfer, and my computer's overwhelmed with.
Or I could just record in my mic when we stop this recording. I can literally do that. Before we were starting, I realized, wait a minute, I know how to do this. I can just go to the button, and you just add this, and then you record, and then it's a button now. Anyway, it'll be easy and fun.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you how your day was, did I?
No, but that's okay. I'm glad you didn't.
Was it fine?
I said I was a 6. Then you didn't ask, but yeah, it's fine. The end.
You're not having any existential crises?
Not today.
Good.
No.
Not today.
I went to the.
No, you said, no, not today.
Today. I went to the dentist, which is the worst medical thing you can do.
I got back from the dentist. Forgot
Take
to
off the
take out
cotton balls. No. What do you think about going to the dentist? Stereotypically, it's like awful, and to me, it is awful. Is it awful for you? And how often do you go?
If I'm being honest, it is. But I had a close friend of mine who is a dental assistant tell me that it really hurts her feelings when people say that about the dentist.
Well, I would never say it to the dentist. I was actually trying to be extra nice today at the dentist to make them laugh, and I got them all to laugh. So I felt like, okay, they probably don't hate me then. But anyway, no, I obviously appreciate them.
I do
Sorry
too.
about your friend. That must suck to work somewhere and people just don't want to be there.
Yeah. It's hard energy, I think, to keep an enthusiastic attitude when everybody doesn't want to be there. I'm like, oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah. I did. And I was like, I don't want them to feel bad. So
yeah, but it does suck.
Anyway,
if you're just going for cleanings, it's fine. But I need to take my wisdom teeth out still.
Ooh, dude, this is gonna sound dumb. I would rather get my wisdom teeth taken out again than go to another cleaning.
No way.
Exactly. Your face went like from this to.
No. Why? What's wrong with the cleanings?
Because
they're fine.
I have good teeth, not amazing teeth, but they're good teeth. I take care of them. Anyway, There are a few things as let me break this
The
down.
scratching thing.
No, let me break this down into a formulate it into a more concise, pointed thing. There's something especially what's the word?
Poopy.
No, I know a word, but that's not a good word. So I'm trying to find a synonym that's less bad. Invasive, that's not the right word.
Disruptive.
No, you want to hear the real word?
Yeah.
There's something especially rapey about being hurt in a really intimate, that's the way, being hurt in an intimate way. And when you have like nerve pain in your tooth, somewhere you didn't know you could be hurt, that's almost worse than getting a bone broken. And I've done it all, and I've done those things. It's that feeling of, I didn't know I could be hurt that way.
Yeah.
That's worse than the pain. And that's some of the most painful things I've experienced were in my teeth. Dry socket's one of them. Anyhow, so cleaning, I have some recessed gums, which I apparently have not been using the right toothpaste for, so I will do that, and fluoride mouthwash, so I'm going to take care of it. But when they use the scraper thing, among other things, they zing. I hate it. It's not the worst pain in the world. There are worse things I've experienced for sure, but I just dread it. But with wisdom teeth, have you ever had any of your wisdom teeth taken out?
Nope.
I'm weird. Anytime I get put under with anesthesia and I have to deal with recovery, I'm fine. Like, it's painful, but like I was under for the worst part. Wisdom teeth removal sucks eating for a couple days and you're bedridden basically for like half a day at least. But anyway, you're asleep until you're laying in bed playing games. But this is so dumb. It doesn't make sense. I was there for half an hour. They scraped around. They didn't hurt. I've had way worse dentist appointments. But it's that intimate pain, the invasive pain, when you don't know when it's going to happen or how bad it's going to hurt. That's worse than I know what this is going to feel like. Just bugs me.
That zing feeling is pretty bad. That and your whole like
your whole body
test-
shoots. Like, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
Anyway, I do go twice a year to get them cleaned.
That's better than me. And I
I
go
asked you how often you go.
when there's a problem.
I remember you complained about something for a few months until you finally went. What was it? It wasn't a cavity,
bad.
was it? What was it?
It was an infected filler. It was terrible. Man, I have like a knack for getting nasty infections places. I just They didn't put the filling in right. I did 3
I remember
fillings.
that now.
I did 3 fillings, and one of them it didn't fit right. There was a gap. Some water got in the gap. It was not clean water, and then it stuck there, and so it literally just got infected, and my like jaw swelled up so huge, just full of like freaking, this is gross.
Yeah, I remember this.
Like pus and stuff. And it was so swollen that like my lymph nodes were just giant on my neck, and I was like, I got to get surgery. It was on this side actually.
Yeah, I was going to say it was the other side. I remember.
And then I remember specifically this tooth right here. It still doesn't fit quite right, but it's not infected and it doesn't hurt at all. So like good enough. But anyway, like the gum underneath the tooth was so full that if I went like this and I peeled this down and I pulled my lip down, you would just watch pus come out of the gums.
I remember it was really gross. It looked like my dog's vomit. It was like yellow foam. It was bad.
You got to see it?
Yeah, of course. Knowing you, how would you ever not look at this? That's what you would be like, and that's what you were like.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask, what was it like getting it fixed? Because I don't remember that really at all.
I asked for a mirror because they didn't put me out or anything. They just drilled the infection literally out. And I remembered because I was so numb. But what was so crazy, it was so
they
swollen.
shot you up with lidocaine.
Yeah, I was awake though. And I said, can I watch?
Ugh.
Well, they literally drilled the infection out, and like I was able to get the topical infection part just expressed out. But when they literally drilled it out, I watched it just like so much came out. I was like, oh, like watching it. And then they were like trying to suck it out before I'd like taste it.
Yeah.
It was so gross. It was so gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
Anyway,
but at least you didn't. Was it painful?
Yeah.
It was painful? No,
It wasn't. It wasn't
procedure.
bad. It wasn't terrible. Afterward, boy, I guess I have some weird gene that my grandma had where numbing stuff doesn't work very long because you have a super fast metabolism for that kind of thing. And so I basically tell them that as I say, hey, this is going to work quickly, but it won't work for long. And so normally about halfway through my sessions, I start feeling stuff again. And so that it always bites. And now that they know that, they can neutralize the pain, but they have to do the one where they go back into your jaw.
Yeah, that one.
And so they take a freaking huge needle and then they do it twice.
Yep.
And I go,
I don't like those.
and they twist it around.
The lidocaine shot in my gums or in the jaw one. Ugh. It's so invasive. Anyway, they filled in some of my recessed gums one time. Basically, my gums at the bottom of my teeth are too far down. They don't cover the base of my teeth as much as they should. So your nerves, more or less, your teeth are exposed. So they're sensitive to brushing or touching or cold water. They filled in a couple of them with like a thin film so that nothing made contact. But when they did that, they shot lidocaine into my jaw or whatever. And I was like, wait a minute. The nerves are on my, I'm talking a little slurry because one side, wait a minute. The nerves are in my teeth, right? And you're like, yeah. And I said, so how is the numbing my gums going to help? And he went, well, it won't, or something like that. And I was like, what are we doing then? And then I goes, well, it should help. I think he's like, well, it should help. And I was like, okay. And then he touched it, it just shot. And he goes, you can feel that? And I was like, yes. And he goes, all right, bear with me. And he was like, ah! It was the most despairing thing they've ever heard. All right, bear with me. Just goes for it. Ah! It was like that hopelessness and sadness. Anyway, he filled them both in. They're a little better than they were, but I still have several spots like that. And I don't want to have that again because there's no way to fix it. So I'm going to take whatever that mineral is called in the toothpaste and fluoride. And I hopefully will be okay. I feel dumb. I told the dentist because she said, use this. And I was like, oh yeah, I've heard that before. But I'm always in the habit of buying the same things. And I always buy the same toothpaste I've been buying. I'll go get it now. So not the worst pain. It really isn't, but it bothers me the most. Teeth pain.
I get it. Intimate is a good way to describe it. Oh man, I have, if you ever get new x-rays, do you have a lot of fillings?
No.
Okay, so you ever get an x-ray with your fillings and you see them?
No, I don't think so.
Well, what happens is the fillings, the x-rays can detect, they look differently than your teeth on the x-ray because they're solid in the pictures. And I was laughing because I've gotten so many fillings in my life that when you look at my x-rays, it looks like constellations. I was like, that's a lot of fillings. And now that I have like 4 or 5 crowns, there's like, you wouldn't tell to look at them.
No, I've seen bad teeth jobs. Like that tooth is not right. But no, I think I have 1 chipped filled. I think that's it.
Yeah, and at that one, I got a chip on this one, and so that's half a crown or whatever they call that. And
a cap? Is that what it's called?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think the cap is a crown. I think those are the same thing, aren't they?
I don't know. I think a crown fills a cavity, whereas a cap fills or replaces a part of a tooth, to put it more specific.
A crown is like when you replace the tooth with a fake tooth, except for the root.
Oh.
A root canal is when they replace all of that.
I don't know then. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
I think. I don't know either. Dentists correct us if we're wrong, but I think I'm right. I think it's root canals when they take all the roots out and they replace the whole thing with something else, which I've had one of those. That was what this was, yeah.
So you have a whole fake tooth?
I'm second guessing myself. I actually don't think I have. I don't remember. I know this one. I think it's just a crown. Crown is when they drill the whole tooth down to a little tiny nub, and then they give it like a angle, and then they get a tooth that fits your mouth there, and then they lock it into place on there, and they glue it really tight.
Yeah.
That's a crown. And then I don't know what they would call this. It's like half. Maybe it is a cap, but. I don't know. But basically, I completely bit half of the tooth off when I slipped on the ice when I was on that date. And then that one was the one that hurt the most because that was just exposed nerve the whole time.
Yeah.
Imagine exposed nerve the whole time, a broken jaw, like 9 stitches of split skin dangling down, and a terrible concussion. That was the worst pain of my life.
And also a date that didn't go home with you.
Yeah. She didn't even want to kiss me afterward.
Right. You want to kiss my broken face.
Yeah. That's gross.
Yeah, it is. I was going to ask, do you know how many wisdom teeth you have and how many are impacted for And 4. Wow.
They're bad, man.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's why I don't eat like chewy things anymore, is because typically you chew anything and it gets stuck in your teeth. And if anything gets stuck in those back teeth, even the tiniest little bit, it's like, oh, and it hurts so bad for a very long time.
I actually did it earlier today. I was on. I tried to do the. I actually did the meme, or for some reason, as a habit. No, I think it's Gangster's Paradise is the meme when someone screams. They put it in the beginning of that song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. So I was just gonna say, I hope you get to have that surgery, and then I was gonna say it's not bad. I don't think, but that's totally subjective, I guess. And then 2, when you do, I can drop you off and pick you up because you're supposed to have somebody do it because you're not allowed legally to drive after having had anesthesia or whatever.
Oh, well, thanks.
So, but it'll be fun. Just have it. It's like a little trip. Have your game and soup ready at home. What's with your face?
I'm afraid.
You're afraid? It's
Yeah.
good.
No, I've never
It's
been
good
put
for
out with
both of us.
anesthesia before.
Never.
Yeah, no.
How many times have I been put under? At least 3 times.
I've had
4 times I can think of. Anyway, go ahead.
You have been put out 4 times?
At least. I mean, at least 4. I'm just.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened to get you put out?
Face, shoulder, teeth.
They put you out for your nose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then your teeth.
Broken. When they break bone, they typically put you under.
Your shoulder, they put you out for that too? Oh, I guess they did have to slice you open. And
yeah, that's the one that they should have for sure.
Yeah. You're right.
What was I going to say? It wasn't important.
I'm so terrified that because of like the
Right.
I can't feel that I'm going to be awake for
I
it.
was not terrified, but I was very scared the first time. Horror stories about anesthesia not working. What are the anesthesiologists just busy playing Angry Birds and doesn't notice? And not I'm joking, but yeah, after the first time and it worked like I thought it would, I was like, okay, the odds are that it's going to work in the future now. I'm not worried, but the first time is obviously
I can't imagine my dad. My dad had heart surgery.
and he woke up.
Yeah. I think about that sometimes like, dang, that's crazy. That's heart surgery. They open up your chest. They peel your ribs apart.
Yeah, you want a more graphic image? I'm sure you do. Okay. So what they do is they have a rib cracker. It literally is like and they use a clamp and then with levers, and they crack you open.
I actually, just so we're clear, that's how they did it. They used to do it, and that's how they did it with him. And I think they don't use that technique anymore. I think they have smarter robots that can dig in and do all the things they need without cracking the ribs all the way open.
Wow.
It depends, obviously. It just depends, but
that'd be awesome to not have your freaking bones broken.
Yeah, my dad, they gave him a pillow, and they give you like a little heart pillow, and all your friends sign it every time. And it's like a special thing if you have a heart pillow. That means you lived heart surgery or whatever.
Yeah.
And they give it to you so that you hold it to your chest when you're in pain. And it's really sad. But yeah.
That's very sad.
Anyway.
Now I don't feel bad about my teeth anymore.
Well, and I feel like a dumb idiot about complaining about getting my wisdom teeth taken out, which happens to many people all the time.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah, I just don't want to. I'm like, it's like, whatever. I shouldn't be eating candy and toffees anyway. So,
Well, as long as that's the only time it bothers you, I guess that's not so bad. It's not like any of them are
like, even if
infected.
I switched water, it would be like sensitive, but it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. It would be like, but not terrible.
I can't even. I take it for granted. I can't even drink a cold drink without making sure I don't touch those parts of my mouth when I drink something. That'd be cool, but like there are worse things you could have, like not having all your limbs. We for the most, it's just how life is. We have backs that are messed up for life. That's just how it is. Like whatever. Some people take their backs for granted. I'm sure there are things we take for granted, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's always nice. That's why I'm really happy for your dad. He got something back. How cool is that?
How many times does someone get something back?
Yeah. It's like being paralyzed and then later you get to walk again.
I think that's probably way better.
No, I'm just saying.
But yeah.
No, I'm saying it's exactly like that.
Same thing, basically.
I don't imagine that.
It's cool. It's cool. I don't know that I've ever. I also am fortunate that I technically haven't lost anything yet, except for my health. my absurd
parts
teenage
of your
health.
teeth.
Sure. Well, sure. Yeah. And And yeah.
It doesn't count.
I've had minor surgeries several times, but I was awake for all of them.
You've had broken bones.
I've had lots of broken bones. I've had toe surgery.
Oh, damn.
I had a terrible infected hangnail one time, another gross infection, but it was so bad it started to be blood poisoning. And so they had to go in and they cut it all the way down my toe and they got the infection out. And then they had to like sew up like the toe and this, like they taped it completely. And now it hurts really bad to walk. Like that's what the other thing, I started jogging and like the scar tissue really hurts to run on, which is a bummer. I was like, man, if you pinch that at all, it's like scar tissue hurts. That's a bummer. Yeah. Even like I was doing Dance Dance Revolution because I bought that game again, and I was like, I was killing it on super hard. I'm like, like dancing, and then I'd like landed weird on my left foot, which is where the surgery happened. It was like, oh, and it's like since like that. Anyway, it was terrible. It's like yikes. But it is not that bad. I'm sure like people who have broken their legs have it worse than than my slight like scar tissue like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we got pretty good. We have limbs and everything. We should put that like on our dating profiles. Have all our limbs.
Yep.
I don't know what girls are into, but that's hot. I like a girl with all the limbs.
I like a guy who has 5 appendages. If you know what I'm saying.
Yes, the head counts.
Yes.
Yes.
And I don't want guy with a left leg. That's a joke. Oh man.
Imagine a dating profile. You know, girls' dating profiles are typically just everything that they don't want. Or sometimes
yeah.
So like, blah blah blah. No amputees. Blah blah blah. Like what? Oh, exactly. Imagine that.
Yeah.
I can totally see that though. I could totally see it.
Wow. Yikes. No amputees. Gee,
When you say it makes it funny again.
There was this one time I went bowling with this group and like I don't remember exactly what happened.
He had no arms, so he just kicked the ball down the lane.
Well, there's a guy who walked up to us and my friend knew this guy or whatever, or someone did, or maybe they just joined the group. I don't know. They were strangers, but I ended up hitting it off with this one guy. We were all goofing around or whatever. And he wore gloves. He wore fingerless gloves. And then he goes, "Do you like my fingerless gloves?" And he's like, "Check this out. I got no finger." And he holds this up like this. I was like, that's nice. And it looked like he had just tucked his finger in like this.
Yeah.
And so I thought that's what the joke was. And then he goes, "No, check it out." And he pulled his glove off and then he turned it around and there was nothing there. I was like, you really don't have a finger?
Half a finger? Or
Yeah, it was half a finger.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what happened? And then I noticed he had scars on a couple of his other fingers. And I was like, what happened? He's like, I got it caught in a lawnmower when I was younger, and it chopped off all 4 of these fingers, but these 3 they were able to put back on. The ring finger just never. They couldn't piece it together. It was too many parts.
We're talking about some gory stuff, not super gory. That's just like gross.
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine?
I kind of can. My brother had his toes go on the lawnmower.
He did?
Yeah, good times. I think he has all his toes still.
Which brother?
My younger one.
They're both younger ones. The youngest younger?
No, yeah, younger, and then there's youngest. That's how I differentiate them.
Okay.
Anyway, I did know a guy who that finger you were talking about with the ring finger, it was completely gone. And I thought it was the coolest thing. I can't remember how old I was, but to me it looked like an elite hand because he's got the 2 long middle ones. I was like, that's awesome. He's like, yeah. He was totally like good spirited about it. But yeah, I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk about broken appendages. I thought I have more stories, but I don't want to.
I really don't want to. I hope I never lose my fingers because I use them.
I want to talk about like exceptional limbs that I've seen, the ones that are still there.
You know who's got a really good arm? Because I don't.
I was gonna say I don't, but that's better when you say it.
Yeah. What did they say? Well, I'll listen to this later and I'll revisit how funny it was in the moment. There was a joke that I said that I laughed really hard at because it was like a combination of things we said. Whatever. I'll listen to this back at some point. This is fun. I like this show. I'm glad to be laughing.
Yeah, me too. I got a little teary from laughing. For sure was laughing. I wants to be tearing about just a little bit.
Yeah.
I have a segue to a slightly different topic, unless you think it's so good that it's over.
No, what?
Oh, good arm. I was thinking, well, I finally followed up with Champion, whatever, the tattoo place that you went to. And they're, of course, they're booked out for like months because everyone's using their stimulus checks for tattoos, what they said. And I was like, okay, great. So I made the first step, made a call, waiting to one guy to get back to me. One of their 3 guys is the one who would actually do a grayscale tattoo, so that narrows it down. Anyway,
What's his name?
I want to say John, but that's so vague.
That's my guy.
Oh, cool. Anyhow, yeah, hopefully that goes through. And I was thinking, I think it's gonna hurt. That's a safe guess, but I don't think it's gonna be that bad compared to other things I've had. So I don't know.
Nah.
Plus, this time I want to have the advantage of alcohol. I've never used alcohol, never had alcohol until recently, so I never had the option to use it for pain. So that'll be interesting.
Did they say you can bring alcohol in?
I don't know that they said that, but I guess
There's a liquor store right next door. You could literally just go grab something.
I'm gonna get a bottle of whiskey.
You could walk it to my house. You just open it up.
I can't wait. It's gonna be such an event. It's right by your house for everybody who's wants to know. For context, and I'm excited because I could just walk to your house. But anyway, I'm going to spend the night at your house is the plan, or whatever. It's just like hang out and get tattooed. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why I told you it was a dumb segue. But then maybe one day if my tattoos grew, I would have a good arm. Was the point of the story.
Wow, you're open to that?
I'm not expecting to, but I realized I was like, well, I guess that could happen eventually. I do like the idea of a tattoo or a series of tattoos progressing as in they're bundled together as opposed to random ones all over. I don't like that. So I like what you have is more or less it's what's the word? It starts, I think it starts with con, and it has to do with structure, like a movie. Conducive? Whatever.
Cooperative? I don't know. There's something like that. They all go together. My next tattoo, I decided for sure. It's going to be a keyboard. Because this is my least favorite part of my tattoo because the branch here just ends. I'm going to have this branch come down and then follow this line here and have them do a keyboard pattern all the way around.
Yeah,
like
cool.
this.
Like a belt almost.
Yeah,
like
it'll just wrap around
and
like this.
It'll close it off.
Yep, and then it'll meet up around the same edge or something. So it'll tie off kind of like here. It'll look really cool because it'll be sort of like an arrow this way. And then I think my last tattoo, I don't know exactly the pattern, but it's gonna start here and it'll be closer to blackout. It'll be a heavy pattern, but then it'll get sparser as it climbs up the arm. And so it'll be like bold, less bold, line, arrow, and then the whole arm will be filled. It'll look great, I think.
If I do pieces, they're going to look almost like puzzle pieces. You know the sketch you do in your book where you can they all go together. Your page is full of sketches, but you can tell that's a piece, that's a piece. That's what I want mine to look like. I don't know if I showed you the blackout kind of thing I want, but it'll be like a jigsaw piece and whatever. Whatever.
That's originally what I was going to get, is just a bunch of my artwork on me, but then I was like, nobody wants to copy.
That's kind of what you did with the map and the tree.
Yeah, but I didn't draw the map. I just drew the tree.
Still, I like it. It's its own thing. It's your style. Mine's going to be like black and white because I'm extreme on one way or the other and very orderly. It literally is my personality. And yours is like creative and free flowing. It's like all over the place. I just like the kind of what it represents. To me, that's what it represents.
Yep.
Yep, you're right. That is what it represents.
More or less. It represents a tattoo.
I'm going to say that when I get it. Yes,
What does it mean?
Yeah. What does it mean? Well, it means it means it's a tattoo.
It represents how I got a tattoo one time.
It represents this is a reminder of one day when I got a tattoo.
And then you get a second tattoo. They're like, what does that one mean? This reminds me of the first time I got a tattoo. I wanted to remember the first time I got a tattoo, so I got this tattoo to remind me of that last tattoo.
Stupid. There's got to be a dumber reason for a tattoo, but that's pretty dumb.
In fact, I'm so excited to do that. I might call about that soon and just be like, hey, look, I need this thing in my life, and you should do it.
I need it in my life too. I just got to be patient, I guess. I hope they get back to me in not too long. It was like 2 weeks ago.
So he basically said, wait months and we'll let you know.
He said their inbox is full, so send a message and just wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good times.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh, well, I'm patient enough.
I bet every place is busy right now because of that.
That was the impression I got from talking to some guy who works there.
A gal friend of mine just got another tattoo too. I was like, that's cool.
The end.
but I specifically said, how did you get in? Because she's like, well, I already had this booked or whatever.
Cool.
It was cool.
You know, what's annoying is I should have booked this before. The issue is I don't know, I'm going to prattle about tattoos too much, but the issue is I don't know about the design and I want his help to help make it up. So it took me until now to go, that is how I want to create it. I want his help. I thought I was going to come up with a design on my own, but I don't have the ability to do it.
Yeah, just so you know, you won't like his philosophy about that either. He's not a planner. That specific guy, John, he literally, you tell him what you want, and then maybe he'll do a great job, but you will not see it until the day before your scheduled session.
Yeah, that part sucks.
Yeah.
But I guess if that's the case, it just means it's going to take me longer to get what I want. It'll be the day before, and I'll see how to go, yeah, no.
That's when he does it. You see it the day of.
Well, at least I can say no.
Yeah, you can.
But it just means I have to reschedule and start over again.
Yep.
But whatever. I mean, it's a tattoo, and I'm too orderly and
I know.
Want all or nothing, so I'm going to do it right. That's the good news. The bad news is that it's going to be at the cost of it taking a long time, probably.
Yep.
The end.
Who knows? Maybe you'd like what he comes up with the first time, but knowing you would be like, I want this slide thing changed, and then he'll have to change it, and he'll be like rolling his eyes.
Knowing me and having an actual example to draw from, my spam cards.
Yes.
I had the idea in my head, very simple. I drew it out and I sent it to them and I said, do this, but change these little things because I can't draw those small details. We went back and forth almost 10 times. I was trying to have her adjust this tiniest thing, and I had to pay for like a couple different consultations because she took so long. But I knew what I wanted, so I don't know how annoyed she was. It wasn't face to face; it was online. But that's exactly what I want. And so when I got my cards now that are not cheap, and I have a lot of them, like anyway, it's worth it for me. The end.
That's exciting. I'm not terribly surprised, but if you would have asked me 5 years ago if Walter would ever get a tattoo, I'd be like, nope, you won't.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing 5 years ago. There's a lot of things I thought differently 5 years ago. Who knows where we're going to be in 5 years?
Yeah, who knows what you'll think in 5 years for sure.
Who knows if I'll think in 5 years?
Yeah, you might.
Thinking you'll be trademarked by Google. And then you'll be accused of
your glasses won't let you.
Your glasses won't let you?
Yeah. Your Google glasses won't let you think anymore. That's when everyone has Google glasses, and then at some point, once everybody has them, it'll just sink, and then just stick something in your head, and then they'll turn into like Google zombies, and you won't be allowed to think anymore. I don't know. Maybe. That's my guess.
Probably it.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's the end of the episode.
Okay.
Unless you disagree. That was good. Really, really good, chill level with some humor and stuff. I liked it.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
We should do a show more often.
We should do this again next week.
Hey, you know what? That would be fun.
Well, thank you all for listening. And I guess we will see you next week.
Unless the Google thing happens sooner than that. Bye, guys.
Bye.